Hey guys, it's Christopher Cedar and welcome to this quick video. In this quick video, I'm going to talk about virtual wholesaling. We're just going to pretty much cover what is virtual wholesaling. I get a lot of questions from people asking, how do you do virtual wholesaling? What exactly is virtual wholesaling? What is your process? So I'm creating a few fun little videos about virtual wholesaling, about how I run my virtual wholesaling business, what I found works, what I found doesn't work, and let's dive into this. So let's start with, first, before anything, what is wholesaling real estate? Wholesaling, all it really is the process of flipping a house quickly. What you do is you find a motivated seller, you sign a purchase and sale agreement to purchase that property. Typically when we buy houses, we're buying them at wholesale prices. We're buying houses that are fixer-uppers. We're buying houses that people they really need to move. We're buying them at usually 65% of the market value, what this property would be if it was fixed up 100% good condition or lower. Typically usually around 50% of the market value. And the reason we can buy these houses like this is because a lot of times there's either some sort of physical distress with the property. The property needs a lot of work to bring it up to current market standards, to actually bring it up to that market value. Or there's some sort of financial distress with the seller, where they just need the cash quickly, and what we can do is we can offer them that. We can pay cash, we can close pretty quickly, and we can take their headaches away, as opposed to if they tried to sell the property the traditional way through a realtor to a buyer that's getting some sort of financing. It could take months, 6 months, a year, or their property just wouldn't sell because it needs too many repairs and it's not financeable. So that's why they need cash buyers like us. Now, once you have that property locked up, you then just go out and you find an investor, a cash buyer, and you pretty much just mark the property up, say $5,000, $10,000, and you either assign the contract to him or you do what's called a double close. Now, assigning your contract to him is just a one-page form. All you're doing is assigning your right to purchase the property through that purchase and sale agreement to that investor. Then he has the right to purchase it, and you're just doing that for a fee. That's pretty much just assigning contracts. Now, the other thing you can do is double close, which is what some people consider actual wholesaling. You will purchase the property with either your cash, or a lot of wholesalers use what's called transactional funding, which they use. It's pretty much day funding. You use it for one day. You have somebody that'll lend you the money for one day, and these people, these transactional funders, they just go off the deal. They usually don't check your credit or anything like that. They just kind of will fund on this deal for one day, maybe 2 days, and they'll fund it, and that same day you sell it to your end buyer for a $10,000, $20,000, whatever sort of profit margin you want in there. You have to pay them a couple points, 2 to 4 points, I would say, and a point is 1%. So if you bought the property, say you were buying it for $100,000 and you were selling it for $120,000, if you used a transactional funder, you'd have to pay 2 points, $2,000, 4 points, $4,000. So that's kind of how that works. But it's good if you don't have the money to actually do that, you can still make money wholesaling. So here's a quick example. Here's a property that we had found. You find a house where the seller's asking, say, $50,000. This is another wholesaling example. It's worth, say, $120,000. So you sign a contract to purchase that property for $50,000, and all you simply do is mark up the price to $55,000, and what you do is you sell it to an investor. You assign your contract. There's no cash needed for an assignment, unless you put up some sort of earnest money, but all you do is assign that contract to them. They pay at closing usually. Usually they give you a $1,000 to $2,000 earnest money deposit, which is you'll get right away, or the title company will get right away. And then once the buyer purchases the property, usually 2 to 3 weeks from that time, you're going to make or get a check for $5,000, or $5,000 minus the earnest money received, and you walk away. You really didn't do very much at all. The investor gets a house at a huge discount. Seller gets rid of an ugly property that's causing them headaches, and you walk away. You're the middleman, per se, with a nice little check. Now, when assigning contracts and doing this, we're not representing the buyers, we're not representing the sellers. So you're not acting as a realtor, you're acting as an individual. And once you do sign a real estate contract, you have the right, you have equitable interest in the property because you have a purchase and sale agreement. So you have the right as that assignor, to assign your contract, to market your property, to market your contract. So just remember that. There's a lot of people out there right now saying that wholesaling is illegal. You can't do that. And you know, if you don't have a contract on it and you're trying to sell property, you can't. You know, that's illegal. But if you do have a contract and you do it correctly, it's totally legal. And we'll go through more of that in more videos. But so what is virtual wholesaling? Virtual wholesaling is just wholesaling houses you have never seen. Let's close this little guy here. Virtual wholesaling is wholesaling houses in cities you've never visited. You know, you can do this in cities all across the country. I currently do virtual wholesaling in several different cities. I never meet with sellers in any of these cities. I never actually meet with buyers. I barely even I actually don't talk to any of the sellers pretty much anymore. I have it pretty much all automated, and it's all done from my laptop. I don't even need a cell phone if I didn't want to have a cell phone. With laptops, with Google Voice and all that, you can just use your Google Voice account to call sellers, to talk to people, to talk to title companies. That's all I ever use. That way my cell phone's not getting bombarded with calls from these people, and that's why you can do it all from just a laptop. Now here's an example of a virtual deal. So say you go into a new market, let's say Denver. What you end up doing is you first have to do some market research, find out where the best areas are. Then what you do is, and we're going to go over this in detail in some other videos, this is just kind of quick examples. What you do is you send mailing to that targeted area in a new market. You know, this really takes 30 minutes to do. I use postcards, and I just send out several or 1,000 or so postcards or whatnot to a targeted area. You then, once those sellers start calling you, you pre-screen the leads, or your wholesaler does. I have, in these different markets, the wholesalers that I work with, they pre-screen the leads, so I don't have to do any of that. I actually have them, I have all my leads go to a call center, and then that call center pretty much pre-screens the leads, and then I send those leads to my wholesaler that I work with, or my acquisitions manager that I have here, and they pre-screen the leads, call back the sellers that look like they have potential, and go from there. So, you know, that takes another 10 minutes to forward a few leads. And what you do is you find someone from that list that is willing to sell a house, say for $100,000, worth $190,000. So your wholesaler, he goes out and either signs a contract, depending on the wholesaler you work with, he signs a contract under his company, or you give him a contract and he signs a contract under your company, or you send the seller a contract to have them sign. What your wholesaler then does is get lots of pictures of the property, puts a lockbox on it. We always get a lockbox on these properties. And then your wholesaler, he goes out and he markets to his list of cash buyers. This is important. This is why you work with other experienced wholesalers, because they already have cash buyers. So say for $110,000. So then once you do find a buyer, your wholesaler then schedules a closing, makes sure the deal goes smoothly, and at the end of this, you guys split. If you wholesaled it, assigned it for a $10,000 profit, you split $10,000, so you collect a quick $5,000 check, typically half of the wholesale fee. Sometimes you can get more, you can do 70%, depends on how you want to structure it with your wholesaler. And that's up to you. That's the beauty of this. So you collect a $5,000 check, and really, how much work did you do in this? You sent out mailing, 30 minutes of work. your call center, or you, if you want to, pre-screen the leads. You know, if a call center does not much work, forward the leads another 10 minutes. Just talking a few times with your wholesaler, getting updates. You know, really, maybe an hour or so of work to make a quick $5,000. You know, that's not bad. Now, it's going to take time to set everything up, but you know, once you get there, once you do have a system down, it's really that simple. So then what you do next in the step is just repeat the process in the same market or repeat it in a new market, and just kind of keep growing your business that way until you're doing 10, 20 or more deals in a market. So what do you need to do? Now, in order to start setting up your virtual wholesaling business, you first need to find a lucrative real estate market, a real estate market that you want to dive into, one that has lots of deals and lots of buyers. And in some more videos, we're going to go over exactly how you can find this lucrative market. I have different ways that I go about evaluating new markets, finding the very, very best markets to buy in, because not every market is going to be good, but you're going to be able to find those markets that are the best for virtual wholesaling. So we'll go over that in another video, so stay tuned for that. You're going to also want to find, one of the big things is find a partner on the ground. I like to work with, and this could be just me, trustworthy and very experienced wholesalers. People that know what they're doing, they run a good business, they're going to be trustworthy, they have a good reputation in their market, and somebody that you like and trust. That's a big thing, because these people are going to be, they could easily steal deals from you, they could easily, you know, cut you out of deals, and this is why you want to find somebody that's going to be, that you know is going to be good. And I found some great ways to find these people, and we'll also go through that more in depth. The next thing that you're going to do once you find that lucrative market, you want to find the very best areas in your town. I call this, you know, you want to kind of dive deep into these markets with laser focus and find the, not only a good market overall, but then a good sub-market in that market to target your mailings to, and to target your marketing, target your offers. So that's what you're going to do. And then next, you're going to, once you find those areas, you're going to use our cutting-edge marketing tactics to find these motivated sellers. So there was a virtual wholesale check for a quick $6,000. That was a little while ago, but that's the power of this. Now, what are some of the benefits of virtual wholesaling? Well, a huge one is you never actually have to meet with a seller or buyer. You never even have to talk to them if you don't want to. I don't talk to any sellers or buyers for 99% of my virtual wholesale deals. You can do deals in your living room. You can literally be on your couch, just on the computer, doing deals. You know, that's the beauty of this. You can be in your underwear, hanging out with the kids. You can be on the beach somewhere. You know, you don't have to be a slave to this. You can actually do deals in 4 hours of less. We just completed a deal, and I just cashed the check actually about 20 minutes ago, but we just completed a deal where my acquisitions manager pretty much handled everything, renegotiated, went and looked at the property, and I maybe have 1 hour invested in the property. And all that hour is looking at pictures, talking to him about the deal, and that's it. And that's not really work. That's just kind of, hey, yeah, it looks like a crappy house, let's go for it. You know, kind of answering some of his questions. Hey, this deal isn't working out, what should we do? And we cashed a $3,000 check. Now, there's little risk in this. There's just risk. You're just really risking your marketing money. That's about it. And it's really automated cash each month. You know, you never really have to do anything. It just kind of keeps on coming and coming as long as you keep doing your part of marketing, you know, pretty much every week. So as you can see, it's really easy to do it, and there's somebody at my door right now, so I'm going to make this really short and quick, but you can really do this part-time. Now, it does take some work to get everything going. You know, you need to find that trustworthy wholesaler, and that can be done easily. You need some knowledge. You know, you need to know the ins and outs of wholesaling. You need to do market research, and you really do need to have some balls. You need to be able to be a risk taker. Now, with that said, coming soon I'm going to go through, I'm pretty much creating one right now, an actual step-by-step, the exact steps for this process in more detail. So be on the lookout for that video. I'm going to be sending it very soon. But right now that's all I have for you. There's a couple more quick virtual wholesale checks. But this is Christopher Cedar with virtualflips.com, and I'll talk to you soon.